Good day to everyone and welcome to our lecture on another topic which is all about the corporate governance and shareholder activism. So, in this lesson, we will focus on the two factors which is corporate governance and shareholder activism, which it will highlight the relationship between corporations, their management, and their shareholders. So when we talk about corporate governance, it defines how a corporation is directed, controlled, and managed to achieve its goals. So, kumbaga, no, sa corporate governance, nandito nakikita kung paano ba nagma-manage yung ating mga top management, 'di ba? Dito nagbibigay sila ng direction, kung ano yung mga policies na nakokontrol sa companies, no, para at least, no, para to achieve their goals, no, specifically the strategic goals. On the other hand, we have the shareholder activism. It's a powerful force that shapes corporate decision making and ensures accountability. Diba? When we say the word shareholders, these are the owners of the stocks, no? And once we know that they are the owner of the stocks, they have the voting power. And of course, no, it also affects the decision making of the top management kasi possible yun nga, no, in terms of voting, in terms of withdrawal of shares, or, meron siyang influence no, sa top management natin. Role of corporate boards. Corporate boards serve as the guardians of the company's strategic direction and overall performance. They are entrusted with the duty to steer the organization towards its objective while ensuring alignment with shareholders' interests. So these boards compose of a diverse group of individuals with varying expertise, offer guidance, oversight, and strategic insight. So, normally class, no, yung mga board of directors o yung ating mga corporate boards, they are also major shareholders. And at the same time, meron silang mga different expertise, no? Kaya sila diverse group, no? Maybe others are expert on the financial side, others are expert on the legal side. Why? Because, sabi nga natin, no, diba? Sila yung nag-offer ng guidance and oversight and strategic insight dun sa company na pag hindi kasi sila experts sa isang field, then possible that they cannot able to, provide a better solution to the problem or better plan to achieve strategic goals. So this is the role of the corporate boards. Responsibilities of boards and executives. Boards and executives leadership bear the solemn responsibility of safeguarding the interests of shareholders. Kumbaga bilang parte ng board of directors, dapat iniingatan ng mga board of directors yung interest ng mga shareholders. And what is that? Siyempre, to ensure na yung company ay lumalago dahil pag ang company ay lumalago, then they could able to provide returns to the shareholders which is in form of dividends. Kasi class, no, sa ang mga board of directors, they have the right or the power to issue dividends to the shareholders, no? And of course, they also have the power to withhold dividends. Kasi nga, depende on the situation. Let's say, medyo pangit ang performance ng business. So, therefore, if mag-i-issue pa sila ng dividends, then wala silang magagamit na capital or additional capital for their operation. This encompasses making decisions that enhance shareholder value, ensuring ethical business practices, and promoting long-term sustainability. Their actions impact not only the financial success of the company, but also its reputation relationship with stakeholders. We have the fiduciary duty in corporate governance. At the core of the responsibility lies the concept of fiduciary. No? It means a legal and ethical obligation to act in the best interest of the company and its shareholders. This duty requires board members and executives to make decisions that prioritize the company's well-being, even if it means putting their own interests aside. Upholding fiduciary duty is fundamental to maintaining trust and accountability within corporate governance. So, I remember no there was an issue no in PLDT na yun nga nagkaroon ng unethical or illegal no na ginawa yung mga top management or mga board, parang mga mga set of board of directors na they put a budget on something, then it is not parang auditable or parang nawawala yung mga reference documents, yung mga ganun. So, kumbaga, parang to cut the story short, no, the chairman, no, Manny Pangilinan that time, no, talagang pinaimbestigahan niya yun at talagang, no, talagang gumawa siya ng legal action para maging accountable yung mga taong gumagawa ng illegal, no. So, kumbaga, bilang board of directors, no, bilang board member, you have to practice legal and ethical practices. No? Dapat all of your decisions, all of your actions must be compliant to the law, and at the same time, dapat it is ethical. Okay? Composition of corporate boards. Corporate boards are composed of a dynamic mix of individuals, each contributing a unique perspective and skill set. Among them are independent directors who provide an impartial viewpoint detached from day-to-day operation. On the other hand, executive directors include top management personnel like the CEO or the Chief Executive Officer. We have the CFO or the Chief Financial Officer, offering insight into the company's inner workings. Functions of board committees. To facilitate efficient decision-making and oversight, corporate boards often establish specialized committees. These include Audit Committee, responsible for financial transparency and risk assessment, the Compensation Committee, tasked with evaluating executive remuneration, and the Governance Committee focused on board structure and ethical guidelines. Each committee plays a crucial role in addressing specific aspects of corporate governance. So, yung mga board members, no, pwede silang gumawa ng mga committee, syempre, to do oversight, no? And para at least talagang matutukan yung mga iba't ibang aspeto ng business. For example, daw yung audit committee, from the keyword audit, sila yung nag-check, no, kung okay ba yung financial side ng business at kung meron bang nakikitang risk doon, no? Yung compensation committee naman, sila yung bahala doon sa mga remuneration. Pag sinabi remuneration, ito yung mga, let's say, benefits at sahod, no? Ng mga executive and even employees. And even yung governance committee, sila in charge of ensuring na yun nga, yung mga policies are well constructed, na i-implement so that nagkakaroon ng what you call this, conducive, no, working place yung company na yun. Importance of diversity and expertise. Diversity in board composition, encompassing factors such as gender, ethnicity, and professional background, is essential for well-rounded decision-making. Kumbaga, class, na dapat daw ang board member ay, syempre, dapat hindi lang sila puro lalaki, dapat may babae din, dapat is may iba't iba din silang ethnicity, no? And also has different professional background. Kasi kung iba't iba sila ng magganito, ng characteristic, then it could lead to better decision making. Diverse boards bring a broad range of perspective that reflect the company's stakeholders and broader society. Moreover, having directors with relevant expertise in the fields like finance, law, technology, and marketing enhances the board's ability to navigate complex challenges and make informed decisions. So, of course, katulad ng pandemic, di ba? There are a lot of concerns and problems. So, if the board of directors are expert on different fields, so like finance, law, technology, marketing, etc., then they could able to find strategic ways to overcome those challenges. Diba? Kasi nga, kung ang mga board of directors doesn't have any expertise, they just rely on consultant, possible, yes, they may get something from the consultant, but at the end of the day, since it is a consultant, the, the will, no, to help the business is not as motivated compared to those who are already board members. Because board members are the most accountable, no, in terms of those strategic decisions. Now let's talk about the shareholder activism and corporate decision. Defining shareholder activism refers to the proactive efforts of shareholders to drive change within a company's policies, practices, or governance. activist shareholders aim to influence corporate decision to align with their own perspective and objectives. So dito sa shareholder activism, kagaya na sinabi ko, yung mga shareholders ay gumagawa sila ng mga effort para ma-influensyahan yung mga shareholders para, magbago yung mga policies, no? Or ma-align yung kanilang mga practices or governance dun sa kanilang mga gusto, no? Or sa kanilang objectives. Strategies of activist shareholders. Activist shareholders employ various strategies to achieve their goals. Proxy battles involve soliciting votes from other shareholders to influence key decisions such as board election. Shareholder proposals are formal requests to alter company policies or practices typically presented at annual meetings. So public campaigns involve leveraging media, no, and public opinion to pressure companies into making desired changes. So, yun nga, may mga strategy daw. Like, for example, no, you're going to solicit votes from other shareholders. Pwede na naman gumamit daw ng media, no, or public opinion para ma-pressure yung company to make desired changes. Motivations behind shareholder activism. Shareholder activists are driven by a range of motivations. Some seek to enhance financial performance by advocating for more efficient capital allocation or changes in management. Others focus on improving corporate governance, demanding greater transparency and accountability. Additionally, activists may champion social and environmental practices aiming to align the company's operation with broader societal interests. So marami daw mga motivation yung mga shareholder activism. Katulad na, no? For example, pagdating sa financial performance, so gusto nila magkaroon ng efficient capital allocation or pwede rin gusto nilang baguhin yung management. Yung iba naman daw, no? Gusto nila ng better transparency at accountability. Yung iba naman daw, no? They want to be, champion in terms of social and environmental practices. So these are examples of shareholder activism. So Apple, no, Incorporated influential shareholder Carl Icahn advocated for increased share buybacks, leading to Apple's commitment to repurchase billions of dollars worth of its own stock. So pag sinabing buyback, yung binenta mo na shares or stock sa iba, iba-buyback mo. Okay? So kumbaga dahil doon sa ginawa na 'yon, no, parang mas dumami yung nagmamay-ari ng stocks na tagaloob rather than tagalabas ng company. Nestle, no? Activist rather investor, third point pressure Nestle to improve profitability and enhance shareholder value, no? Resulting in the sale of underperforming asset and increased focus on high growth rates. So dito naman, pinressure ng mga shareholder yung Nestle na ibenta yung mga assets na hindi na maganda, no? At mag-focus na lang dun sa mga high growth areas or mga assets na talaga nagpapalaki ng kanilang profit. Procter & Gamble, no, activist investor Nerlon Peltz secured a board seat after a high-profile proxy battle, prompting changes in Procter & Gamble's strategy and renewed focus on core brands. Dito naman is parang pinaupo, no? Parang nag-solicit siya na dapat mapaupo siya doon sa board of directors para ma-impluwensyahan niya yung mga decision making ng Procter & Gamble. So, lessons from unsuccessful campaigns. DuPont, no, despite a vigorous campaign by activist investor Trian Fund Management, DuPont shareholders rejected the proposal to add Trian's nominees to the board. The companies later faced operational challenges. So that is an example of an successful campaign na gusto nilang ipasok, no, si Trian, no, bilang board pero hindi nila nagawa. Dahil doon nagkaroon sila ng mga operational challenges. As well as Yahoo, activist investor Daniel Loeb's campaign led to leadership changes but didn't effectively address Yahoo's core business struggles, illustrating that change doesn't always guarantee success. So dito naman, no, na si Daniel daw no, nag-campaign na led to leadership changes. So kumbaga nagbago ng mga leaders, no, pero hindi pa rin nila na-address yung mga struggles ng business. So kumbaga, sinasabi dito na kahit pala baguhin mo yung management, sometimes, no, may mga times na talagang ineffective pa rin. Corporate social responsibility and ethical consideration. So when we say the word social responsibility, it is the commitment of companies to operate in a manner that benefits the society and its environment. Beyond profit making, CSR emphasizes a company's accountability for its impact on various stakeholders, including employees, customers, communities, and the natural world. So pag sinabing CSR, basically ito yung ginagawa ng mga kumpanya para mabalik yung kanilang success or mabalik sa community or sa stakeholders yung mga naranasan nilang mga benefits. So kumbaga tumutulong sila sa mga stakeholders. Incorporating stakeholders and ethical practices. CSR involves a comprehensive approach to decision making that considers the interests of diverse stakeholders. This encompasses fostering a positive work environment, ensuring product safety and quality, engaging in fair business practices, and minimizing negative environmental impacts by integrating ethical consideration into operations. Companies contribute to societal well-being while building trust with stakeholders. So dito naman class, no, parang sinasabi natin na yun nga na once kasi you try to of course no get involved in considering the interest and the welfare of stakeholders, nagkakaroon to ng positive impact, no? Or nagkakaroon to ng positive work environment. So, kumbaga, nagkakaroon ng effect even sa product safety, sa quality, and for business practices. And lalo na sa branding ng company. Kasi nga, nakikita ng mga customers or other stakeholders that your company is a good company. Next is the CSR's role in reputation and sustainability. Embracing CSR isn't just about ethical obligation. It is also a strategic move wherein companies that prioritize CSR build a positive reputation, enhancing their brand image, attracting socially conscious consumers. Moreover, ethical business practices and sustainable initiatives contribute to the long-term viability, as companies that align with societal values are better positioned for enduring success. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, talaga nakakatulong ang CSR sa reputation at sustainability. Okay, so now we have the ethical role of boards and executives. Ethical responsibilities of corporate boards and executives. Corporate boards and executives hold a vital ethical role in guiding the company's actions. They must ensure that decisions are made not only for financial gain, but also with commitment to integrity, transparency, and societal well-being. Upholding ethical standards build trust and credibility with stakeholders. So, lagi natin tatandaan, class, na once you are part of the corporate boards, may talagang ethical responsibilities tayo. Kasi, once you don't practice ethical actions or ethical decisions, naapektuhan talaga yung trust and credibility ng ating mga shareholders, which will lead to shareholder activism. Role of codes ethics, no? Ethical guidelines and whistleblower policies. Code of ethics and ethical guidelines provide a framework for ethical decision-making within the organization. They help guide actions that are in line with the company's values and mission. Whistleblower policies encourage employees to report unethical behavior without fear of retaliation, fostering a culture of accountability and transparency. So, dito class, no, ay sinasabi lang dito na yung code of ethics, no, is dapat talaga na-implement. At dapat, no, merong mga whistleblower, okay, na dapat may parang sa policies may whistleblower na parang means para at least kung merong mga katiwalian at syempre natatakot yung empleyado or kung sino mang part ng company ay makakapag give way to or makakapag what you call this, there's a way for the whistleblower to to tell the truth no about the irregularities happening in the company. Ethical dilemmas in corporate decision making. Boards and executives often face complex ethical dilemmas such as balancing short-term financial goals with the long-term sustainability or navigating the tension between profitability and social responsibilities. These dilemmas require careful consideration as decision can have far-reaching consequences on stakeholders and companies reputation. So when we talk about ethical dilemma, we're talking about possible, how can we balance no, or choices no, between balancing financial goals at long-term sustainability. Na kung saan minsan no, you have to sacrifice something on the present or on the short term para ma-attain mo yung long-term no, sustainability. Next is corporate governance and long-term value. So dito, the nexus of corporate governance and shareholder value, effective corporate governance sets the stage for sustainable growth and value creation. By ensuring transparent decision-making, accountability, and ethical conduct, companies build trust with shareholders, fostering an environment conducive to value generation. So sabi dito no na yung when we talk about no shareholder value, okay, we're talking about of course no how the board members or the top management or those no who govern the corporate no maximizes the wealth of the shareholder. Okay? Kasi syempre kung kunyari no nag-i-invest sila doon at hindi na ma-maximize yung wealth nila, then it will not build trust. Okay? Na ay, hindi naman magagaling tong mga management ng company na to. No? So I would not be investing more or possible that I would be investing in other companies. So, the impact of shareholder activism. Shareholder activism serves as a catalyst for change with companies. Activity shareholders advocate for strategies and policies that can unlock dormant value. So, enhance operational efficiency and improve governance practices. Their actions can prompt boards and executive to reassess priorities and align with shareholder interests. Kumbaga, no, minsan, may mga bagay na hindi nakikita no nung management o yung dormant value na parang pwede namang mag-focus doon yung management or yung shareholder yung board of directors, but since they don't do that no kaya nabubuo yung shareholder activism, kaya sila nagiging catalyst for change. Transparency, shareholder engagement, and financial performance. Companies with transparent governance practices tend to attract long-term investors who value stability and ethical conduct. So dito talaga nakikita natin na may long-term relationship dahil nga pag transparent yung governance practices ng company, ay nagkakaroon tayo ng mga long-term investors. Active shareholder engagement fosters a two-value dialogue, enabling companies to gain insights and feedback from their investors. Importante na may insights and feedback tayo from the investors. This engagement can lead to better informed decisions and improve financial performance. Kasi when you do decisions based na hindi mo kinukuha yung feedback and insight ng mga investors, possible talaga na magkaroon talaga ng shareholder activism kasi you don't look for their welfare and interests. And lastly, sustainability in ethical practices and lasting relationship. Sustainability initiatives and ethical practices are key components of effective corporate governance. Companies that incorporate environmental, social, and governance considerations into their operations build lasting relationship with customers, employees, communities, and investors. This relationship in turn contribute to the company's long-term value and resilience.